You have your teacher with you? We have a visiting team coming here. This is our first year classroom. So, good morning, students. Well, I think Marco and the team is here. It's about, they're here to celebrate this, participate in the big World Indonesian Sorcery Day, yes? Which we will also be involved in that. So what do you know about sorcery, let's say first? I think sorcery, is it new to you? No. So this class consists of how many provinces here? We have all the Highlands provinces here. We have Ella here, Southern Highlands. We have Henga, all the provinces, huh? Any province that you have not heard about these sorcery issues or torture cases? Let's say all the provinces, huh? There's torturing happening in our own places, in our own provinces? Well, it was in 2012 when we had the first case in here. I would say that it was not done like this before in our time, about torturing. Torturing people and burning them and killing them. And, this is kind of like, let's say, it's so serious and it's something new, let's say, new practice.
My name is Richard. And my surname is Moses. We got our traditional belief and customs to find out the death of the person. In my experience at my village, our community members, they look for a man. We usually call them a Glassman. The man used to, see a vision or something like that. Because at that time I was, I was a small boy too, so I thought that it is true.
You must know that with SARV, people also becoming territorial. When you have someone that dies from unexplainable death, people that have underlying issues on say, hypertension or underlying issues around asthma, something is bound to happen. Someone's gonna suddenly collapse. And when that happens, relatives demand answers. If they don't get answers from so-called medical orderlies that are not prepared or do not even have a proper diagnosis for it, they'll look at the nearest one, and that is to turn on their own.
I'm going to market there. I'm going to market there. I'm a solar song. Meri Salab no look sabo. Mlano club. The one pen, bell pen, and trout. I'm black Simon Kang. Joey. Something strange happened. Joey. Ayo, Joey, Christopher. Joey died. Ayo, Joey.
Community है वो सर, लेकिन मेरे लोग में हमको लोग रोज, and Bobby find out. So you go Noken cry, all Glassman staff पे, we got sekilo, narap la community na pa Mexican.
Glassman came and he just pointed a woman
Just random.
Just appointed a woman and he said, the lady is here. The bush get a woman and I was with them too. And I'm just saboting the villagers. I said, bend them, kill them.
When that was happening, did you believe the Glassman? How did you feel at that moment? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, then we used to, I was trusting that Glassman because at that time I was, I was a small boy too, so.
How old were you?
That's when I was around 16 or 15 years like that.
The Glassman are con artists and cowards. They prey on the vulnerable and the weak members of our society. We have a moral duty to protect these vulnerable citizens who deserve the protection of our laws. This bill is a first step towards eliminating these vile and cowardly acts in our society.
Of course, on behalf of the Special Committee on Gender-Based Violence, as its chairman.
Members of Parliament were outraged, and we did have legislative reforms. The disconnect happened between having those reforms being implemented. Because again, if you're going to be amending a law, you need to be able to train the enforcers of those laws. We've got one of the worst quota when it comes to police to citizens. We've got about 7,500 or 8,000 policemen, and you're looking at 10, 12 million Papua New Guineans. And then you have a society that is willing to stop or block police work in their communities because they think that they just did their society a good thing by getting rid of a witch.
First Meri Directed.
I'm set to the post away. Only put in Manguma, torturing in pen or to them to talk about. And
because all government straight in, or I'm like some and banish Plongamlo, look out him on display, evil spirit, me blow him like give him more law. Almost walk him some way, only know what was anybody by killing it.
Thank you, Richard, for sharing your life experience. Richard got baptized and he received his first Holy Communion. He's a Catholic now. This year, he converted. Being converted as a Christian now, and you are now trained to be a health worker as a first-year student. What can you say about your experience now?
Thank you. Since I'm a Christian and I'm a health worker, trying to be a health worker, then I need to learn whatever I done in the previous years ago, because I see that it was not good. We have to reduce violence against the women and the young ladies.
Remember, in Southern Highlands, the belief system about sorcery has always been here. They believe that every happening has some supernatural cause behind it. People start verbally accusing someone, and then they start torturing them. Sometimes torture can be done in a physical way, and also in a very psychological way.
Like Father Isaiah, you're from this province, right?
Yeah.
And Janet, are you all from this province too?
From Southern Highlands.
Right, and then Sister Lorena, how long have you been here?
45 years.
So I don't know. I just think that if this had been happening before 2012, you would know about it.
In Chimbo, it was already in the late 80s and late 90s. Chimbo was very famous for torturing and for Songuma and all of that. And actually also on the coast. And not to forget, Bougainville was long before the whole outbreak of the fight there. Bougainville was very, very famous for sorcery, and so was also Sepik and some other provinces. Very, very famous for sorcery. And so we can really safely say sorcery was always an issue.
And the violence also.
And the violence. And that's why I warn all of us, inclusively myself, not to be judgmental and not try to stereotype anything. That's perhaps the worst we can do. Because each and every case, it's different.
You know, when I came here, I knew nothing about sorcery accusation-related violence. It was a shock to me, because we learnt about witch trials. It's part of all our histories, right? If you learn, I'm a lawyer. You know, when you learn about English law, you learned that witches were burnt and drowned in England in the 12th and 13th centuries. And you think that stuff doesn't exist anymore. And then you learn that there were witch trials in Massachusetts and Salem in 1620s, and you think that's extraordinary, but we've got past that. And then I'm sent to PNG, and they tell me, no, there's sorcery accusation-related violence. Women are tortured and killed. I was astonished.
She was burnt at night after being suspected, along with few other women, of being responsible for the death of a 2-year-old child that day. The other women fled when some men
This boy here. You can remember? You talk. Phone blue you are? Yeah.
No physical violence was only pockets of it. Asaro, Gumini, Gembo, pockets that have cultural beliefs in physical violence. But it's never been this kind of, full-blown torture that you see. I come from a society where we never used to have, a lot of money, but that wasn't a problem for us. We had Pogra in the early 90s. People didn't have money before that. That society, from the late 80s to early 90s, was thrust right into a society where they were given money because of their land. And people were not prepared to handle money. It changed the dynamics in my community, in my society. And that was when the first time I heard anything about sorcery. Enga does not have a cultural belief in sorcery. Parts of Hela doesn't have cultural belief in sorcery. Southern Highlands doesn't have cultural belief in sorcery. But guess who are the 3 leading provinces in killing people? Those 3 provinces.
This is my secretary's office. She must be out. And this is my comms office, rooms, no ink, All systems are done, so please, Inaplo, come ask him.
We are National Government Institute. So we get our vehicle and fuel and all that from police headquarters. But not really in a timely manner due to, funding availability.
Another police vehicle, but ran out of fuel, sitting there. It's all written in the constabulary standing order, CSO. So there is no point in us, being too lazy and, leaving men alone out there. No. I must be alert because of the kind of province that I am commanding. Yeah. The people taking to granted, murdering or chopping or get themselves involved into trouble fight is becoming normal these days. Yeah, they don't even fear police because they have they have sophisticated weapons. And they are really heavily armed.
Sister Lorena was telling me how the police are not responding. So I went to Joseph and said, you're a great police officer, people respect you. And so he was the one who said to me, you need to help us change the community's mindset around this. You need to help us get a feeling of general public revulsion against this kind of violence, and then people will cooperate with the police. And that struck me. So that's why I really got the sense that the point of this march was to create a movement, right? The whole point about a movement is not just that it's loud and visible and it raises awareness, but that it brings people together who need to work together, right? It creates a coalition.
So where are we going? Hospital. Mendi Provincial 5-star Hospital.
5-star?
5-star, yeah.
5-star, you mean to be sarcastic?
No, it's a good hospital. We are going there because yesterday, 2 weeks ago, they tortured a woman and she's now in the hospital.
And how did you find out about this woman that had been tortured?
Actually, the day before she was tortured, a young girl, 15 years old, she was in the hospital about the second time, I think, if I have it right in my memory. And she was suffering pneumonia. She lost all her blood, and the doctor didn't have enough time to find out where the loss of the blood comes from, of that young girl. And then they said, well, we know what it is, it's songuma. This is exactly the spot where I came for the first time to find Malina. She was down there between these trees, and I came here to rescue her Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And each time I stopped here the car and talked to several people. And then only on Tuesday she was released. When they took the 15-year-old girl back to the village, they immediately blamed Malina, who was taking care of her and who was close to her, that she's a Songuma and she's responsible for sucking out her blood. Malina, instead of saying, yes, I did it, I sucked out her blood, she says, I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about. And then they started her torturing like they do for making a confession. And then finally, when the pain was getting too severe, she said, okay, I did it. Morning through. Justa Bolzenwanem. Justa Borai, that's Malina. Man bilang you in camp? Bikinini?
Bikinini ol no kam, ol sabieta.
Wanem as man bilang you in Noken?
Emolain blumi like paitinem.
If he comes, they will also accuse him, and not only accusing him, they will also threatening him, even fighting. Sometimes, if we are not very careful, we can create a trouble fight. You see here, only put in fire long iron or long knife?
Fire.
Yeah.
Cook him lo fire.
Cook him long fire, yeah. One time knife or one time?
Knife or cut him there.
Yeah, she has also here, look, you have to go to the other side. She also has the cut here. So how much they only cook him you?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning all carry me come.
Only lock him you long Rampla Howard?
Yeah, I'll lock him in the house.
Now who's that is stubborn time you?
All get all marona, that's all put him going to the house. Now I'll cook him me.
I'm this pastry ask him how long cook him you?
Yes, then pasta start name to go on the side and look start.
You afraid long in that on this plan 6 per day?
No, me no sense me to me die me to him God business me to me no sense me to me back up.
She thinks God saved her life.
Yeah.
And I think she's right. But she says right now, I'm not at peace, also not with us. She will only be at peace if she wins the court.
Today, you must talk out clear on this plan. And me know one pillar situation where you can think, oh, me no clear, me no savvy, me by stop now. No God. Suppose you know stop one time God on this pillar something, one time Jesus, one time church, one time talk along God, you stop, you against him. You against him.
There are 45 countries in the world where this monstrosity is continued to be practiced. And I need to find out, what are we doing about it in the other 44 countries? What can we learn from them? And just as I talked about the need to form a national movement and to help no one feel isolated and alone when they're fighting this stuff, we also need to connect this to the global movement. That's one of the things I now need to commit to doing from my role in UNDP.
You ready long give him multiple name long Monday long police Mary?
Yes.
Good morning, Southern Highlands. Good morning, Papua New Guineans. Good morning, world. Ini kali mau partners by unit staff here, UNDP, government, churches, they are against sorcery, accusation related violence.
And all of you gathered here today are sending a message that it's time to put a stop to this violence. It's time to say no more.
This is why you make it wrong. You make it wrong also now. You be cooking Susan nothing, Mama nothing, because you be not like father of the person.
Now me come people sit over here. Our policeman Meri me talking about me serving all. If it is to die with the victim, we will die with the victim.
People are holding hand. Now boom one time, long stop him passing, long shoot him talk, now fight him on Torangu Meri Nama. Hold him hand.